Break a leg, buddy. Break it. Yeah, definitely. This slide. Hey. Hi.
Well, sure about the nerd part. Greetings everyone, my name is Hisham Samar. I'm a computer science student specialized in artificial intelligence here at the University of Reservoir. And today I'll be speaking about artificial intelligence. Bear with me. So, during the University Opening Club, the event that was done previously, I met with so many people, so many interesting clubs presented here, and we had a lot of fun and good conversations, and the conversation always ended up talking about artificial intelligence. So, yeah. So as you can see here, just to imagine how many people were there. So as we were talking about artificial intelligence, there were always two kinds of people. So I couldn't find a better explanation myself, so I prepared for you some pictures. This is the first one. So, as you can get it, these kinds are the terrifying people of artificial intelligence. Well, the second kind actually didn't care. And that's basically me trying to explain. So, when it comes to artificial intelligence and talking to people, usually it's always ended up with a question. Will artificial intelligence surpass the humanity? And I'd like to ask you people this question, and we'll answer it during the ending of this speech. So let's start. Let's start by defining what is actually artificial intelligence. Usually when I meet some people and they're telling me about it, I just start with the word, the sentence itself. So artificial intelligence. Can someone of you here define me what is intelligence? Don't be shy.
So, hello everyone. I think artificial intelligence is the ability to learn. Intelligence is the ability to learn. Easy.
Another one?
Raise your hand. I can catch it here. Yeah, look up the definition, dude.
So I think intelligence is the ability to find solutions, in other words, cognitive abilities and capacities.
Just the word intelligence.
Yes, intelligence is being able to use your cognitive capacities and abilities to find solutions for several problems, and this varies from one person to another.
It's the ability to correlate information and analyze information quickly. Yes. That's it. Say it, raise your hand. Well, I did. I'm with him. Exactly.
He actually got that right because he saw my presentation. So basically what is intelligence is the ability to learn. And, creatures who demonstrating the ability to learn is an intelligent creature. Now, if we go further, what is actually learning? Imagine that we have a certain situations, and between these situations have actually a certain pattern. So if we actually can find this pattern, we can say that we have adapted and learned through the situation. So that's basically it. Concerning the word artificial intelligence is something that was created by humans, and it's not something created or evolved from a natural process. So it's made of purely metal scrapes and electricity, unlike us humans who are made of electrons. So now that we have defined what is intelligence and artificial intelligence, let's go to what is artificial intelligence. Now here, many scientists have debates and many don't agree between themselves. So I'll give you the two presentations of artificial intelligence, and you can figure it yourself. So basically the first
This
definition
is from iRobot.
is
This one, the picture?
the first
The white one,
definition,
yeah.
if the
iRobot.
machine,
Will Smith.
if we can prove that
Remember
machine,
that movie? I didn't watch the movie.
we can say
I
that
missed it.
this
I missed it.
machine has adapted
Very
to
famous
the
movie.
artificial intelligence. That's the first definition. The second definition, however, if the behavior of the humans and the robots cannot be distinguished from a human, we say that this machine has adapted the artificial intelligence. Now, many people actually don't get this second definition, so that's why I got you an example. Don't worry. It's called the Turing Example. So, just in case if you don't know who is Alan Turing, he was the responsible scientist for the winning of the Americans against the Germans in the World War II. He created the machine Enigma, which was responsible for decrypting the codes of the German that
didn't watch it,
the
no.
Americans for victory. Yeah. So that's just a general concept. So the Alan Turing basically did a research paper called Computer Machinery and Intelligence. It was made on 1950 research, and it's basically made of 4 people. There is a judge between these 4 people, and there are 3 more players. The point of the game is to distinguish the imposter between these 3 players, and the imposter is actually a robot. So as you can see here, here is the robot represented. And let me tell you that this was actually achieved, and it was really, really old era in 1950. So you can imagine how far the artificial intelligence has gone now. But it was achieved, but it used some fooling techniques. It's not as good as you might think. We humans are still capable and still ahead of artificial intelligence in some things. Okay? So, yeah, so that's basically artificial intelligence. When I usually meet with dummy people, the way to explain artificial intelligence is through the example that I personally made. It's called Amazing. So that's a mini game I constructed for you guys. That's why the slides were, that's why there is 80 slides basically. Yeah, so this is a mini game. So basically the game is 2 robots, or 2 dogs, as you can see. The robot has an option. It can destroy only 1 wall. The yellow robot, however, can only build 1 yellow wall. So here's a demonstration of how this goes. Just go back. As you can see, there's the wall of the yellow.
Oh, that's dumb.
So the rules of the game are simple. The game has 30 seconds. The blue bot has to find the yellow bot. You can't build over or destroy the red walls. Can you go back just 1 slide? You can see the red walls. You can destroy them or build over them. So that's basically the game. Let's start. I made you a simulation, and please bear with me. Just go back. You went too fast. Yeah? Yeah. Slow. Go on. Yeah. 1 more. Yeah, stop here. As you can see, the blue bar actually has destroyed the wall. So if you analyze well, he will never find the yellow bar because he's his only chance. 1 more slide. So yeah, as I said, the player B loses. So these are the first, basically the first games, because these games are played automatically. See? So these, after many, can you just go 1 slide? Yeah. 1 eternity later. It means a lot of games were played after this. Let's go 1 more slide. Yeah. Now you can play this.
Be great with the sound.
Notice what happens here.
1 eternity.
A lot of games, the player B actually finds the yellow. This is after a lot of games. And you just move 1 slide. Yeah, so what are the conclusions actually of this? Basically, the player B has discovered where the player yellow is located. Don't worry, don't forget that we as humans can see the position of the yellow player and the blue player, but the blue cannot. What we can notice is that the blue has actually discovered the position of the yellow player. 1 more slide. Another thing, the blue robot actually discovered to focus on the yellow walls. I don't know if you noticed, but in the first game, basically, the blue robot just destroyed the black wall and kept going. But after many games, he learned that he should focus on the yellow walls. And that is a sign of intelligence. So, as a few predictions, I didn't run a lot of tests on this one, I just stopped here. But personally, I would give some predictions about that. I would say that the yellow robot will change his position. Because if, I don't know if you noticed, he just stayed in his position because he never had to change. He always kept doing anything, basically. The yellow robot will learn how to flew. I think the yellow robot, after several games, will try to build a yellow robot hide in a second position. And that's a technique that a lot of humans use. It's called the fooling. There's one. Another thing I've noted, I predict, is that the yellow bot will extend his research area. Because after this game, basically the yellow bot, the blue robot will always check on the beginning of the yellow bot. So now he will extend his research area. But how was this really achieved? How did he do that? It's called machine learning. Now, maybe a lot of you have heard what is machine learning, but I try to simplify it as simple as possible. Basically, machine learning is an application of artificial intelligence that provides systems the ability to automatically learn and improve from experience without explicitly programmed, as written there. In case you don't know, the current computer science that we are studying and which is working right now, you have to program everything. It means if you went up, if you went down, left or right, you have to explicitly program this. And that's the key of artificial intelligence. You don't have to do that. It does it automatically with efficiency and even better than you. More than that, this right now comes the nerdy part. So for the nerds, machine learning uses a large volume of data, or you can say a data set, to extract features restricted directly by mathematics for decision making. Don't worry, I will explain even that. So, since we got this example, I gave you an explanation of this definition I just gave. So, basically games are the data. As much as you play games, it means you got much data. So the decision is whether the blue one, as you can see here, whether he should go up, left or right. This is the decision making that he has to make based on what he learned. The features are the yellow ball and the starting position of the yellow ball. Do you remember when I told you that the blue robot has discovered where the yellow is? That's a feature. He learned to focus on the yellow balls and the position of the starting of the yellow ball. Concerning the math part, it's just the patterns. The patterns that the blue bot should take and the decision that the blue bot should take in order to find the yellow. One more slide. So, to conclude what we've all talked about, we have defined what is artificial intelligence. I just told you that there are two definitions actually. The first one, if we can prove that the machine learned indeed, it means it is artificial intelligence. The second part, it says that if the behavior of the machine and the humans cannot be distinguished, then it is artificially intelligent. We talked a bit about the history of AI, as I told you, as I've shown you through Turing examples, and I've shown you the application of AI, which is machine learning. Now, back to the question that I've just asked you since the beginning. Will AI actually surpass us humans? I think I just made you the perfect conclusion for that.
Hey,
Now it's wasting time. There's a quote that says, I think, so I'm a human. Well, I just modified it just something. I think, so I'm a robot. I innovate, therefore I'm a human. Thank you so much.
I have only one remark, which doesn't minimize our speech. When you give public speak, try not to talk about a lot of information. Try to mention two, three maximum and define them. Because sometimes we get lost. Apart from that,
the reason why I talked about a lot of things is because AI is a very, very big topic. So I try to keep the minimum possible. Yeah, at least what I've shown you is actually the minimum.
I know.
Because maybe if I wanted, I could have gone.
I know, but just put something in mind. whatever your topic is, you're the best in it. Because we, as an audience, we don't know much as you do.
That's why I chose simple terms. I'm not using any technical.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
I'm really proud of the Atlas Unite, because you've got times. Very good, well done. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you again, Nisha, for your presentation about artificial intelligence. So now we have a break, but before that, I will tell you about the program that we have in the evening.
What's
okay?
up? How was it? He
So
was
this
great.
evening is going to have 4 speakers. One speaker and speaker, and one speaker. And after that, we have the